as I am about the 14,000 customers that are already paying customers of Fabric, it's just a drop in the bucket. Our vision with Fabric is so much larger because we want to empower every organization on the planet so we can democratize these technologies, we can drive data and AI everywhere, we can drive down costs and empower every single business user. Now, one example of where we have done this well is the journey that we've all been on together with Power BI. Today, Power BI has over 375,000 organizations that use it. Any Power BI users here in the room? That includes over 95% of the Fortune 500, and we have over 6.5 million developers that build on Power BI every single month. Now, this curve that you see on the slide here is actually the usage growth of Power BI since the day we launched it. And over 9 years, you can see that the usage growth of Power BI is still accelerating like crazy. And even ever since we launched Fabric just about 14 months ago, the Power BI usage growth has only accelerated. Well, why am I talking about this? Because we want to get Fabric to Power BI scales. And to make that easy, we've made sure that for every single Power BI developer, every customer using Power BI, Fabric is just one click away. And to make that really easy for every developer to experience Fabric, we have made an F64 SKU, a free trial available, where every developer can get $17,000 of capacity to over 2 months to experience Fabric and see what Fabric can do for them. This is the most generous trial program in the industry because we want to make it easy for you to experience what Fabric can do, because we believe that when you check Fabric out, when you try it out, when you see its capabilities, you'll fall in love with the product that we're building. Now, another thing that developers are really excited about is simply the pace of innovation. Microsoft is pouring massive resources into Fabric. And you've seen this movie before, right? With Power BI, we've released a new version of Power BI every single week, and a new release of Power BI Desktop every single month for over 9 years. Right? And we're bringing that exact same pace of innovation to Fabric. Every week, there's a new release of Microsoft Fabric with new capabilities that you can light up. Every month, we take all of the capabilities that we've shipped that month and put that into a monthly Fabric blog, and that's what you see here. And these monthly Fabric blogs are 60 to 80 pages long, just to give you a sense of the level of innovation. And a lot of those ideas are not just coming from us here at Microsoft. We want to make sure we pay careful attention to a community, to all the developers building on Fabric. So if you have a key feature that you're excited about, go put it on ideas.fabric.microsoft.com, and we take it seriously. We look at the top voted ideas, and we try to make sure that we ship them quickly so that we're evolving the product in the direction that our customers want us to go. So Microsoft is listening, Microsoft is learning, and Microsoft is making Fabric the product that you want it to be. However, as excited as I am about the technology, we know it's not just about the technology. We know it's about the people. And for the very first time with Fabric, you're bringing all the personas that work together in the data and AI space together in a single integrated product experience. Data engineers, data scientists, data warehousing people, business analysts, BI professionals, all working together in a single product experience so that you can collaborate, you can share ideas, you can evolve these things quickly, right? So we can accelerate the time to value. And this is critically important because we know that data and AI is a team sport. As we bring the people together, the different personas together in a single product, we also know it's critically important to unify the community. And that's what the Fabric Conference is about, bringing all of the personas together so we can learn from each other, we can connect with each other, we can go all on a journey together. And you know that me and my team have a lot of passion for our Fabric community members, for our Power BI community members, for our SQL community members. We engage in person at events like this, we participate in user groups, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Twitter, because we want to make sure that we are here to serve you. And as a result, the community has grown very, very quickly. We have over 2.6 million members today across the Fabric and Power BI communities, over 239 different user groups. Pretty much wherever you are on the planet, you'll find that there's a local user group. If you go to this URL, AKRMS Fabric Community, you can find all these resources there. So I encourage you to connect with your local community members, learn from each other, that you'll meet some amazing people that are going on the Fabric journey with you. Thank you. And if I narrow this down just to Europe, we have a massive Fabric and Power BI community just here in Europe. Almost 700,000 members of our community are in Europe, 73 different user groups. So there's lots of opportunity to engage with people right here. Okay. So let's hear from some of our awesome community members.
Jag tror att inte klarade mig ganska bra med Google. En dag så fick jag chansen att se hur pass mycket mer som fanns där ute.
Et le fait de faire partie de cette communauté, ça permet vraiment de combler ces différentes lacunes et aussi apprendre ensemble.
Knowledge grows where it's shared. These beliefs drives my passion for joining the community and helping others.
In the past, the community helped me to learn new stuff that was released. And now it's somehow changed that I am very often the person that tells, teaches and helps others to learn the new data stuff.
Ta kluczowa decyzja i kilka innych zatem oraz wybór platformy Microsoft zdecydowały o tym, gdzie w tej chwili jestem i w jakim tempie rozwija się moja kariera.
Our community is special because it's all about collaboration, helping each others and respecting diversity.
Is dat iedereen welkom is. Niemand wordt beoordeeld. Iedereen wordt bekeken zoals hij of zij is.
Genuine passion for helping others.
Ja mä oon kokenut, että aina jos mä oon tarvinnut jotain apua, mä voin kyllä kysyä joltain.
Nieuwkomers zou ik maar één advies willen geven. Blijf jezelf.
Over time, this is going to grow into a big network of peers that you can rely on for years to come for support in your current role and future career development opportunities.
I've collaborated with so many people in the community around helping others to learn and enhance their skills and help their careers.
So huge thank you to the Fabric and Power BI community members. It's been so much fun over the last couple of days, walking these hallways, meeting some of our friends who have been with us on our journey for so many years. We also know that it's critically important for us to be able to get everybody skilled up, which is why we introduced the Fabric Analytics Engineer certification just 6 months ago. And we were, thank you. And we were blown away by the level of interest in the certification. Just in the last 6 months, we have 17,000 engineers who have passed the certification, and I was shocked to find out that this is the fastest growing certification in Microsoft's history in the last 4 years. So really, really exciting to see the massive investment. And I'm excited to announce that we're going much deeper. Next month, you will see us launch the beta of the DP 700 exam. This is much more focused on the back end. It'll go much deeper into data integration, data engineering, data warehousing. So please do check it out. We're really trying to work hard to make sure that you have all the training resources so that you get skilled up, your customers get skilled up, our community members get skilled up. Now, one of the things that's been really exciting for us is the work that we've done with our systems integration partners. We brought the SI partners into the Fabric journey right when it was Project Trident 3 years ago. And we worked closely with these partners to give them access to early bits so that they can try the capabilities out, they can give us feedback, help us mature the product. So these featured partners have invested deeply in Fabric. Across this ecosystem, there are tens of thousands of consultants that are already trained and certified on Fabric so that they can help you with your Fabric implementations. And I'm also excited to share that a whole bunch of these partners, all of these partners, are right here at the Fabric Community Conference. So please do check out the Partner Solutions area, and please do connect with them because they can help you accelerate your journey. So let's hear from some of these partners.
When I first started reading about Fabric and seeing where Microsoft was going with this new platforms, I said to myself, this is a game changer for the marketplace.
The thing that excites me the most about Fabric is the completeness of the platform.
It puts data analytics and business intelligence in the hand of everyday users.
We've been seeing tons of new customers reaching out to us. They are very excited about going into Fabric.
The learning curve is much lesser. That's the best part about Fabric.
Fabric has helped us grow our business by really helping our clients get more value earlier on in projects. We've seen a lot of adoption and excitement amongst key industries.
It gives our customers as well as developers one single platform where they can manage information.
A lot of customers out there are excited about the opportunity of Fabric, bringing multiple
skill sets together, multiple teams together to be able to work under kind of one hood, so to speak.
I often get asked, when do you think we should start working with it? My simple answer is yesterday.
When my clients want to do a brand new proof of concept or try something out, I'm not having to spend a lot of time just getting things to work. They just work.
So you have a better ability to discover and then extract value out of it.
Microsoft has got it. This is the product that we in the industry have been looking for years.
Microsoft Fabric will be front and center for any customer organizations to fully modernize their analytics platforms.
This is probably one of the biggest game changers from a product perspective.
All right. So the next part of the presentation is what you've been waiting for. So we're going to go much deeper into our future innovation in Fabric, show you a whole bunch of capabilities that are available today, as well as give you a sneak preview of some of the capabilities that we're working on. So when we think about the opportunity to innovate with Fabric, we're working on 3 areas. The first is AI-powered development. Because Fabric is end-to-end and Copilot is baked into every part of the Fabric experience, it can dramatically accelerate your time to value. It can help your developers architect the solutions correctly, it can help them get up to speed, it can help you get solutions in the hands of your business users much more quickly than ever before. The second is the AI-powered data estate. So with OneLake, we have a multi-cloud SaaS data lake. We're bringing a lot of the AI capabilities natively to OneLake itself. So the storage system itself becomes AI-powered. You will see some of the investments we're making in this area, really, really exciting. And the third area is AI-powered insights, taking the Copilot experiences in Power BI so that it becomes a coach for every single business user so that they can find those valuable insights, they can make those business decisions so much faster and so much better than they could ever do before. So to show you all of these capabilities and get you much deeper into the, into all the exciting demos we have lined up for you, I'm going to invite Abhi next, technical fellow at CTO.
Hello everybody. I'm so excited being in first FabCon Europe. We're going to see each other every year, I can tell you that. And we are going to continue exactly where everyone left off. We are going to have a journey through the product. We have 3 pillars to cover. We're going to drill down into each one of the pillars. And we're going to start with the first one, which is the AI-powered development. And what does it mean, AI-powered development? Well, you have Fabric. Fabric provides you the end-to-end product that gives you everything that you need for data. All the workloads, from data integration, data engineering, data science, data warehousing, real-time intelligence, BI, everything that you need, one in a box. And one of the things we learned is, when we looked at the product and how to use it, is that there are some really distinct patterns that are emerging. You're not using just one workload at a time. About 6 out of 70 of you are using at least 3 of the 6 workloads together, and about 40% of you using all the workloads together. So we thought that we really have to refine the flow in the product to make sure that the product is feeling like a single project, that you don't have to switch between experiences to create new items. So you're going to see in the coming weeks some changes rolling into the user experience. You're going to see that instead of having a homepage per workload, we are taking all the workloads, creating a single place for all the developers to come together, where you are driven by task flows. The task flows are giving you the structure of the project that you're going to build with all the components, end-to-end, from all the workloads. And when you create the project, you're moving to the workspace, you're going to use the task flow as the guiding light for your project, and every item in the project is available for you in the workspace. You don't have to switch between experiences, and very, very flowing, streamlined experience that you're going to get in the product. So this is coming in the next few weeks. And in addition, you're going to see us doubling down on the AI-powered development. And this is where the Copilot is coming into the picture. I'm going to invite Patrick, my friend, to the stage, and we're going to see more of the AI-powered development. Hey, Patrick, do you have AI-powered development?
Yeah, we've been working hard at Copilot, taking feedback and really expanding it across the product, so it's built into every Fabric experience. And it's really a way to help you work end-to-end across Fabric. And let's start out with a demo here. Maybe take a look at how we can use Copilot end-to-end, but also how Fabric helps you build an end-to-end solution all in one place. Yeah, so let's take a look. So here I am in one of the task flows that Amir was talking about, and I have everything I need for a full end-to-end solution. Everything from how I get data and all organized in this nice task flow bucket, where I store it, training machine learning models, visualizing data, and even real-time intelligence, all built in and organized so my team can collaborate. And this right now is tracking our customer loyalty program. And I want to make some updates to the solution. And to do that, I'm going to use the built-in source control of Git integration in Fabric to make sure my team can collaborate together. Now, this is GA today, generally available today. There's some new items now available for Git integration from real-time intelligence. And the great thing about this integration is I can create a new branch, and that's going to create a new isolated work environment, so I can make changes without disrupting the full solution. It's all built in.
If you look at the runtime environment, it doesn't affect anything else going on.
Exactly, and it's all very easy to use, so I can collaborate with my team to make changes. So here I am in the loyalty data warehouse for our customer loyalty program, and I want to add some orders data so I can look at how many orders and back orders that our loyalty members have all in one unified place. So to do that, I'm going to create a new data pipeline. But I don't want to use the UI, right? I'm going to use Copilot to kind of accelerate the work I'm doing. So this is a new Copilot experience where I can just come in here and use natural language to describe what I want the pipeline to do. So I'm going to say, copy the orders table from, and then I can pick from the UI the connection I want to use. And then I can say, put it into a new orders table into the data warehouse I can select. And then I can say something like, if there's a failure case, send an email, or I could add other additional activities using natural language. And just like that, Copilot...
The entire pipeline was created.
Yeah, Copilot's building that on my behalf, so I don't have to worry where to look, it just does it. And then I can, of course, run that and start loading across the data. And if we skip ahead, we can come back and now see, hey, our orders data is now loaded into our data warehouse. It's easy as that. But yeah, that's where we're going to launch. Hands off the mouse, let me use the keyboard. But I can do some other cool things as well. I'm going to the monitoring hub, and the same new Copilot, there happens to be an error in one of my pipelines, so it's a different one that ran for Azure Databricks. And instead of me having to search error codes and figure out what went wrong, I can now use Copilot to help diagnose the issue. So it's looked at the error codes, it's given me a summary, it says, hey, it might have been a quota issue, here's some links to support information. So really taking that intelligence and again, accelerating your work so you can work faster and not have to spend as much time on manual tasks. But Copilot goes even further. We have it built into the data warehousing experience, which is now entering preview today, so you'll be able to go ahead and use this. And the Copilot is incredibly good at writing SQL, right? So I can ask, hey, give me some suggestions for SQL queries you might want to write. It suggested the top 3 primary interests of customers who have backordered items, because now I have this joined together so it can do both. But I can ask for something more complicated as well. Let's create a view of customers who have the top lifetime value and how many back orders they have, and then group it by primary interest. And just like that, Copilot has generated all that SQL code for me. Again, this is a huge time saver, because now I can just start editing. I can also use it inline.
You can create store procedures.
Yeah, I can create store procedures. I can use it to diagnose issues if I have issues in SQL. It's a very, very useful tool to speed things up. And like that, I have my new view, and I can see the data. But now, just to complete the end story, of course, we have Copilot and Power BI as well. And since everything is integrated, I can just create a new report directly on my data warehouse, and I can ask Copilot to create a new report page. And just like that, it's giving me a starting point that I can go and edit. Kim's going to come up a little bit later and show you some of the new Power BI capabilities in Copilot. But again, making it much more efficient, listening to your guys' feedback, and continuing to improve all across the board. Now, finally, in the end, thank you. Finally, in the end here, I'm done with my work, so I'm going to go ahead and go back to source control, select what I want to commit, and just like that, I've done an end-to-end improvement to my solution, all integrated in with Copilot working everywhere.
So Copilot everywhere, helping you with your work. And you finished the demo with checking in back through the Git repository, CI/CD, and that's something that we heard a lot from you, that you really wish that all the items in Fabric will support CI/CD, and we have some news today.
Yeah, exactly. So we know that CI/CD source control integration is incredibly important. We live in kind of a code-first world, and we have some new supported items, as I mentioned. And we're also excited to say that all the primary used items in of Fabric in Git integration will be supported by the end of the year. And this is a priority for us to keep up to date. So yes, we've heard that feedback and are organizing ourselves to make sure it's always supported and always up to date.
And we also heard from you that you want better support for deployment of technologies for your project. And this is where we have another good announcement.
Yeah, so going into follow preview today is a new Terraform provider. Terraform helps you automate deployment of environments, of capacity resources. So if you know what Terraform is, or you're using that organization, this is a big help in streamlining how you manage your Fabric environment.
So, and if you don't know what Terraform,
yeah,
forget it.
If you know what it is, you know what it is.
Okay. We did a few more things, right? We talked about one change in the UI, which is really centered around you when you build a project where we bring all the workloads together with the task flow, with the workspaces that can do everything in the one workspace without switching experiences. We also know that there is another crowd of people who are using Fabric, and that's your business users. And this is where we make another change.
Yeah, and so one of the pieces of feedback we really heard is that the workload switcher, and there's all these different workloads, and sometimes it's getting confusing. Do I have to switch workloads to create new items? And we wanted to streamline all of those experiences for you. So let's go ahead and take a look really quick how we're doing that. So if you notice down on the left hand where there used to be kind of the icon of the workload that you selected, we're revamping that a little bit. So now you'll see it says develop, right? You'll see this rolling out over the next few weeks. And we've organized all of the development-centric workloads into one place, but then taken the end-user workload space and put it under another category called Analyze. So if I'm a consumer or an end user, I have one place to go to see all my content and to consume content. But if I'm a creator, we've then grouped it all together. And you saw in that task flow demo in the workspace, we're kind of streamlining creation so there's not as much confusion for having to switch. And we think this is a really good improvement for, again, continuing to streamline, listen to your guys' feedback, and improve the experiences. So.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Here, I'll let you guys read the slides. We have a ton more demos coming. Thank you so much for being here. I'm excited to be in Sweden.
Thank you so much, Ravi. And it's time for us to kind of zoom into some of the workloads. And the first one is about analytics. So we have data science, data engineering, data warehousing, and we have a lot of innovation coming here. So I'd like to invite Justina to the stage. Hey, Justina.
So great to be here.
So, what's new in analytics?
Yeah, so tons of new things in analytics, and I wanted to start with a really exciting announcement. So we're really excited to say that the new Fabric Runtime 1.3 is now generally available. Yeah, so this includes all the latest and greatest in open source, including Spark 3.5, Delta 3.2, features like liquid clustering. So you can now use all the latest and greatest from open source in your production workloads.
And there's one more thing that is really coming with 1.3, which is?
Yes, of course. We of course also have our own secret sauce, and that is the new Spark native execution engine, public preview, but in the new GA runtime.
And this is giving you a performance improvement. How much?
Yeah, so this is all crafted in C++. It's based on open source capabilities like Velox and Gluten. And so you can see anything up to a 4x improvement.
Yeah, and so it's all based on open source. We are contributing to the open source.
Of course, we're contributing to open source. We're collaborating with our design partners, Meta, IBM, Intel, and all of this.
So up to 4% improvement in performance.
4x, not 4%, 4 times.
4 times, sorry, 4 times. 4 times, yes. And it's not just we're giving you 4-time performance improvement, there's one big announcement that is accompanying that, right?
Yes, so this is my favorite bit of this. I'm really, really excited to announce that all of this is available at no additional cost.
So you basically can do so much more with things that no idle, any kind of consumption rate, no more CUs.
Exactly.
Just turn it on. Your existing project don't have to be changed in any way, and you just get this amazing efficiency.
Yes, we want to provide all of our Spark users the best performance by default at no additional charges.
Okay, so we talk about AI-powered development. What does it mean to have AI-powered analytics?
Yes, so we have some exciting things in the AI space as well, of course. So I want to show you a sneak peek of a new capability called AI Functions that lets you enrich all of your OneLake data with AI. So let's take a look. So we're starting out inside our notebook, and of course I want to start by bringing in some data, and of course I can connect to my lakehouses. I can now even connect to my warehouses and use T-SQL, but I can do even more. So I'm really excited that we're also releasing mirrored database support with Spark. So now I can connect, thank you, to my Snowflakes, to my Cosmos DBs, my Azure SQL DBs, and use Spark on top of those as well. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the integrated data hub. I have all of my different mirrored databases, and I'm going to bring in my customer call logs. So I'm going to go ahead, connect to this. Of course, it shows up on the side, just like the Lakehouse does. And now I can just go ahead and drag and drop my customer call logs. I get my beautiful code snippet, and I can just go ahead and run this. So there we go. We see our data frame, but I have a little bit of a problem here. As I expand out these transcripts, I can't really read them.
I don't understand a single thing.
Yeah, I think they're Swedish.
Best Swedish I learned is from the Swedish chef on the Muppet Show.
Yeah, that's not going to help us here. Of course, our audience can probably help us. We unfortunately don't speak Swedish, but this is where AI can come to the rescue, right? So all I have to do is I'm just going to create myself a new code cell. I want to create a new column called English transcript, which I'm going to define here. And now I want to apply an AI transform on top of these. And so these will just come integrated into your notebooks. I can do things from sentiment, classification, extraction, similarity analysis, so many different things. So over here, I'm going to select the translate option. I'm going to specify that I want this to be in English. That would probably be helpful. And that's it. That's all the code I have to write.
All these functions, you don't have to sign to Azure Cognitive Services or any other service. It's just built into Fabric, built into the notebook, and that's it.
Exactly. So, thank you. Yeah, this is looking better. I can read this one, right?
You can read it, but it's too long.
Yeah. So maybe we want to like summarize it.
Categorize it.
Categorize. Okay, categories. Categories sounds good. So again, we're going to create ourselves a new code snippet, and now I want to create a new column called issues. And so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to define my own custom labels. So I can, let's say, specify that I want to classify things into, let's say, installation issues, or shipments, warranties, returns, other. I can define these myself.
And the AI will just go through the table and read every one of those transcripts and decide what it belongs to, which kind of issue we'll discuss in the service call.
That's the plan. I hope so. We'll see. And there we go. We have our new issues column available.
Let's see if this works.
Let's see if it's working, right? So we have our returns, we have our installations. Let's jump into one of them and just make sure everything's looking okay. So there we go. Installation issue, trouble installing the grill I purchased. So looks like things are working. Great.
Really working.
It is. Yeah. It really is. So now, I want to be maybe a little bit more proactive. I want to actually take some action on this. It would be great to maybe reach out to all these customers having these issues and just maybe offer them a personalized tutorial in the store to actually, how do I install this thing?
And this is where we're working with a partner of ours, Esri. If you don't know Esri, Esri is the leader in geoanalytics. They've been around forever, and they just have an amazing library of analytical functions for geography, and we can use that, right? So we integrated their technology together with our notebooks. Want to take a look?
Exactly. So let's take a sneak peek at some of the capabilities that are going to be coming soon. So over here, I've got a new notebook, and I'm going to add a code cell, and I want to start out maybe using Esri for doing a little bit of, plotting some customized maps. I want to actually classify all these call volumes into different bins, see where the heat map looks like. We've got our nice personalized map of Stockholm over here. Looks like all the issues are coming generally from the southwest region. And now I want to do something a little bit more complex, and this is really where the Esri engine can really shine. So I want to actually figure out, hey, from all these customers, what are the nearest stores to them? So I can send them to these personalized tutorial sessions. So I'm going to specify that for each customer, I want to find the closest 3 stores in a 10-mile radius. And it's just a couple of lines of code that I have to write, really actually simple for how complex of a problem we're trying to solve here. And
so easy, like you can see, so I can write it myself.
Yeah, even Amir could write this, exactly. There we go, in our data frame, we can see for each customer, we've got the top 3 stores with their precise distances.
Now, we want to see it on the map, though.
It would be great to see on the map. Of course, I could write this in the lake house, put in a beautiful map in Power BI, but I want to just get a quick feel for this, make sure everything's working correctly. So I've got some code here. I'm just going to choose a customer at random. Let's say customer number 48, and I'll give this a second to run. And there we go. We can see our customer. We can see the nearest stores. One of them is definitely much closer, so I think that's where I'm going to send the customer for that personalized.
What do you have things? Okay. So we mentioned one more thing, that is the ability
to actually have things like your Mary databases, your warehouses supported in notebooks as well.
And a lot of additional innovations coming in.
Yeah, loads of things coming. We don't have time to cover everything here, but selfish plug, come to my session. We'll talk about all of these different things. Tons of things in the analytics space. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's talk about real-time intelligence. This is something that we announced just a few months ago in the Build conference in the spring, and this has been taking off like a rocket. It's just unbelievable. What is real-time analytics? Real-time analytics and real-time intelligence is all about processing data at real time, getting the insight from the data. In fact, I want to invite my friend Will to talk more about real-time intelligence. Will! Real-time intelligence. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, real-time intelligence is the place in Fabric to ingest, analyze, and even take action on that real-time and streaming data.
And we have there something called the real-time hub. And the real-time hub is super exciting because it does for streaming data what OneLake does for data at rest. It's one place where you can find all the streaming data across everything, all the clouds, all the data. Give me an example.
Yeah, no matter where it comes from, whether you're bringing it from Microsoft sources, from third parties like Amazon Kinesis or Apache Kafka, all those different sources can come through to the real-time hub.
What is Kafka? Everybody's talking about Kafka.
So Kafka is an industry standard for really dealing with these high volume, very low latency, massive throughput streaming data sources, those kind of event data, IoT systems, that kind of thing.
So we bring the data, everything in real-time hub, and then you can process it, you can analyze it, you can monitor it, you can act on it. Yeah, let's see.
Let's take a look.
Okay. So real-time intelligence.
So I'm going to start here in the real-time hub. So real-time hub is the place to bring all of your streaming data together from a whole across your organization. And I can filter it down by different types of streams, the location, and even search through it as well. Now, if I don't find the information that I want, I can go and use those connectors to pull in data from other sources. And like I said, whether you're connecting to Microsoft things like Azure Event Hub, IoT Hub, whether you're pulling in change data feeds from databases like Postgres or Cosmos DB, that can all come through together into the real-time hub. Now, third-party sources are also supported, things like Amazon Kinesis, Google PubSub, Confluent, or even Apache Kafka, like I mentioned. I'm going to use that to connect to some data here. So in this situation, we're pulling in kind of customer reviews and orders, that sort of thing might be coming through here. And I just put in the connection details and start to create an event stream to integrate and manage that data as it comes in. So I'm going to open up that event stream. You can see we have a preview of the volume of events that are coming through. The connection's all set up for me. And I can even open up to see the contents of a preview of the data. And you can see this is complex, nested JSON structure in those events, very complicated data to work with, but real-time intelligence handles it all. Now, what I want to do is actually go take some action on this. And right from here in the real-time hub, I can set up an alert on this. And it brings up this pane to where you can use Data Activator to configure these alerts. And what I want to know is, let's look at those review scores, group them by product category. And if any of the category review scores drops below a threshold of 2, send me an alert. Now in this case, I could send an email, I could send a Teams message. I could even do things like starting other Fabric items, kicking off a pipeline or running a notebook. I need to give it a name, choose a workspace to save the alert in, and it will get created for me.
And what I love about it, how simple it is. If you ever worked in a real-time technology before, it was complex.
We make it
Yeah,
exactly. And we've made some great improvements to the Data Activator experience recently. They're bringing all of the content together into this pane on the right-hand side for defining these rules, making these beautiful visuals that smoothly animate as more data kind of comes in, and you can see the line across there, the threshold when things drop below that.
I love that animation. You can see how the data is flowing through the screen.
Flows really nicely, yeah. You can see most of our product categories are doing okay, but a couple do occasionally drop beneath that threshold, and they're going to send those alerts. Now on this Analytics tab, I can see a preview of when this rule would have fired. So 217 here would have fired 3 times.
So we can actually take a look here and see, are we spamming with too many alerts when we change the threshold?
I can go and iterate on that to make sure the rules match the business requirements. And I can see it's sending a Teams message, so it's going to send, this is the alert that it would send me, and it gives me the context of what category it was, what the value was, and when that trigger fired. Now, these alerts are great, and taking action is fantastic, but sometimes I need to look at those events over a longer period of time. And I want to save them to do maybe some loyalty scheme analytics, or look at something more complex over a longer period of time. And I can do that using the Event House.
So let's talk about the Event House. I don't know, how many of you have tried using the Event House? If you haven't, you really have to try it out. It's a wonder, right? It's unbelievable. It's actually based on the Data Explorer technology we have in Azure, the ADX technology we have in Azure, the KQL database, and it's all Microsoft basically running on this technology. All the Azure services, the cloud services we have, everything is running. All the telemetry is ingested into those event houses. Just look at the numbers here: 8.3 exabytes of events that are transmitted to us per month, 300 petabytes ingested into this technology per day. It's just unbelievable. And when you try it out, you'll see that it's just unbelievable. It handles massive amounts of data that coming in real time, very, very complex. Handles complex.
And it's really designed for that time series data as well. If you want to do analytics where you're looking at trends and changes in patterns over time, it's ideal for that. Let's take a look. So I'm swapping to a slightly different data set for this one. We're using some publicly available data from GitHub, so it's new repos being created, logins happening, people doing check-ins, that sort of thing. And obviously as a stream of data, this just appears in the real-time hub like anything else. And from there I can start querying, analyzing it, even using Copilot, because we're all about Copilot at the moment, for building dashboards automatically. And this will look over that streaming data, look at the structure of the data, and pull out and suggest insights for me. So generate these visuals, so I can see the number of events over time, split up by the different types of event. And this is a really good kind of jumping off point for me to go do my own visualization or exploration or write my own queries. And if I want to write queries against the event house, I use the KQL language. Now, KQL is a really great way to analyze this sort of data. Let's just do a simple count with the number of records in here. You can see we have 6 billion rows of data in this table, and it's streaming in new data all the time. So if I just do a summarize over it, let's summarize by the type of event. This will now give you a different result because there's more data arriving in this table, but you can see it blazing fast time. Less than half a second, it scanned all that data and split it up by time.
And KQL is so readable, so easy to learn, but what if I don't know KQL?
Yeah, if you don't know KQL, that's okay. You can use your existing T-SQL skills. So I'm not a T-SQL person, but I can do like select star from something, okay? So select star from, where, whatever, with my group bys and things, and you get the same amazing performance over all of that data as it's coming in real time.
And if I want to learn T-SQL?
You could do, yeah.
Okay.
We can use Copilot. I'll get to that. Now, I just want to remind you about the sort of data in here, because this is really complicated, nested JSON data coming in from these events, application logs, whatever it might be. I can use those in my queries as well, and it's super simple to go and reach into those fields and pull them out. So for example, I'm going to look at just the events from 2023, and I want to go and pull it, look into the repo field and get the name of the repo out of it. I just use this repo.name notation. I'm going to do the same for the login for the username. I can use this actor.login notation to reach in, get some context out of those JSON fields. It's really, really easy, very readable. And then I'm going to summarize it up, count the number of events, number of repos, number of users.
It's way easier than that, by the way.
I think it is, yeah. I can say that because I use that. It also has a built-in understanding of things like visuals. So you can say, as part of my query, I'd like to just render that into a chart. So if you're doing this interactive analysis, it's super quick to go and query huge amounts of data. You can see the most common, most popular time to work with GitHub turns out to the last week in November. Who knew? But yeah, as Amir said, if you don't know KQL, that's another way to get started and to learn it is using Copilot. Now the Copilot here has an understanding of all of these kind of functions for binning data over time and for rendering visuals as well. So I can ask it to draw me a chart of the percentage of different types of events over time for a particular year. Drop that code in, and again, think about the performance over this, those 6 billion rows, all the time that's coming in, we're doing grouping at different levels, and in just a couple of seconds it's going to come back, give me that chart that I can then go and use elsewhere. Now I can pin this onto a real-time dashboard. If you haven't used real-time dashboards, these are a really great place to put operational data. If you've got data that's changing all the time.
And I love how the dashboard is animated.
Yeah, exactly. The visuals are constantly updating as new data arrives in those tables. It's pushed up to these visuals so you get a really kind of up-to-date real-time view.
And what's the best way to deliver those dashboards to people?
Yeah, I'm really excited about this because we've heard from feedback from people who are using these that they really want to distribute this just the same way they do the Power BI content. And you can now embed that in your organizational apps as well. So along with Power BI reports, you get those real-time dashboards. It makes it super simple to distribute, and it means that you don't even need to provide access to that underlying data. You just give up access to the dashboard, and they just see the data that's available there.
That's so good. And we have so many more innovation in real-time intelligence.
I've barely touched on these. There's loads more coming as well. Look out for the blogs. Come to the real-time sessions this week, and look at that more.
Thank you so much, Will. We're done with the first pillar. We talked about the AI-powered development. Let's move to the AI-powered data estate. And this is where OneLake is come into play. And OneLake is the beating heart of Fabric. This is the OneDrive for data. We took the concept of a data lake and we SaaSified it. We made it so easy to use. And it is the heart of Fabric. It is the place where all the data is stored. All the workloads of Fabric are storing the data into OneLake. Everything is stored in an open format. It is infinitely scalable. You never have to buy a storage account again in your life. It's available globally. You don't have to worry about which region the data and then how to scale the region separately. And it's fast. It's so easy. It's like working with OneDrive. And all the data is indexed for search, it handles the lineage tracking, you can put information, protection labels on top of that, we can handle the governance, the sharing, the compliance, everything is handled by OneLake. And boy, it is taking off. It's unbelievable to see how you guys are adopting OneLake. If you just look at the chart here, what you see here is the growth of the storage in Fabric. We have about 3 million shortcuts already in Fabric that are pointing to all the data in all the other clouds and on-premises. This is just after less than a year of the product in the market. Every 15 weeks, we double the volume of the data in Fabric. It's just unbelievable to see how you guys are adopting everything. And you ask, so how the data gets into Fabric? Well, this is where the data factory is coming into play. So we're going to talk a little bit about the data factory. I'm going to invite Shireen on the stage. Hey, Shireen. So, what's new with Data Factory?
Yeah, we have some really exciting announcements to share today, and let's just get started. So, one of the things that we want to show is, many of you guys know what the copy activity data pipelines is, right? It manages bulk and batch data ingestion at the petabyte scale. So with that, let's make data ingestion even easier. So today, I'm so excited to introduce the copy job item, which simplifies data movement from any source to any destination.
So we've noticed that so many of the pipelines that you create have just one activity, copy data.
Exactly.
So why don't you create a pipeline that has one activity? It'll just give you the item for copy data job.
Exactly. So with this activity, I have 2 important features to kind of announce. So the first thing is super simple. I have data in one workspace, and I want to move it to another workspace directly into Fabric. So with this copy job, it makes it super easy. So let's take a look. So directly from my Data Factory homepage, I'll kick off a new data copy process, or a copy job process to kick off the data copy process. So I'll give it a name, and immediately you'll notice this beautiful UI. This is the new modern Get Data experience. And if you haven't seen it before, we have modernized the Get Data experience, so everything is really easy to navigate. So in this case, I'm copying data from one lakehouse, and I want to move it into a different lakehouse in a separate workspace.
That's something we heard a lot from you.
Exactly, it's a very common community ask, and it's just that easy to seamlessly copy data from across workspaces.
That's super cool. Now, if I want to copy data across tables, but I want to do it in an incremental manner.
Yep, that's exactly right. So this copy job has an even more powerful feature to do incremental data loading, so it allows any real-time updates to any of your data that has changed. So in this case, we have included a new copy job, and I have some sales data on an on-premises SQL server, and I want to avoid full data loads. So I'll connect to my my on-prem SQL database, select the database, select the tables, and then as a data destination, I'm going to land it into another Azure SQL database. So table to table, database to database. And in the data movement tab, you'll notice that I'm going to select incremental copy over full batch copy by selecting the watermark columns for each of my tables. And once I kick off the data copy process, the copy job from my SQL server, my on-prem SQL server to my Azure SQL database begins with an initial snapshot of my data available in seconds.
And now if I make individual changes to individual rows, I don't have to copy the entire table.
Yep, that's absolutely correct. So the thing is that if I go back to my SQL server, I'm going to add a couple of rows to my customers table, and now you'll notice that only those 2 rows will actually be incrementally copied over. And if I actually go back to my copy job, you can see that those 2 rows have indeed been only copied over. And actually in this UI, you can also look at some advanced configurations like read-write behaviors, throughput, latency, all seamlessly integrated into this beautiful UI.
So incremental updates of the tables. What about incremental updates of files?
Yeah, that's really important to say as well. Incrementally copying tables is impressive, but we can do the same thing with file systems as well from any source, any destination. So you just saw that I have some product, images in my product catalog, and I've created a copy job to copy that S3 images into my lakehouse. And if I go back to my lakehouse, you'll notice all those images are neatly organized into folders. And of course, our catalog continuously gets new images all the time. So I have a new folder called number 20, and I have 13 images that I want to incrementally copy over in just that table. So I'll drag and drop that folder directly into my Amazon S3 bucket, and And after a few seconds, that is uploaded, and if I go back to my copy job, I'll verify that just that number 20 with those 13 images have indeed been incrementally copied over. Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah, so incremental files. Now, a lot of people here are using the Azure Data Factory. Which one of you are using Azure Data Factory? Whoa, yeah. So, we have some use for those people as well.
Exactly. So I have one more really cool announcement to make before I leave, and that is for existing Azure Data Factory customers to also experience the complete modern open experience of Microsoft Fabric. So I'm thrilled to announce Azure Data Factory item in Fabric that allows ADF customers to seamlessly integrate their Azure Data Factories directly into Fabric. So once you have your ADF linked, you'll notice that you see all of your existing ADF pipelines, data flows, and data sets, all executable and manageable directly into Fabric.
One place to go to just Fabric. You don't have to alt-tab between Azure and Fabric.
No, exactly. So all of your existing ADF items continue to run on Azure, but you can also experience all the great things that Fabric has to offer. It's just so easy to like bring your existing workloads into Fabric now. Yeah.
So more innovations, more stuff is coming, right?
Exactly. We have once again barely scratched the surface, and if you really want to learn more about some of our new innovations, please make sure to come to some of our Data Factory sessions.
Thank you so much, Evie.
Thank you.